Okay, we've now got Harmony Turnbull. Harmony's a senior speech and language pathologist who is a keyword sign presenter and state trainer. She's been learning and teaching keyword sign for over 10 years to support people of all ages to communicate and connect with each other. Harmony currently works for the Department of Education Tasmania and is doing a PhD through the University of Technology, Sydney. She has a passion for communication as a basic human right and communication accessibility, where all people are supported to understand others and express themselves to the best of their ability. And Harmony, you're going to be talking about reading and playing with keyword sign all day. Welcome.
Thanks, Bronwyn. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here and so great to see so many familiar faces. It's lovely to see you all, some people that I've known for a very long time and some people I've only met recently here in Tassie, which is lovely. So I will, hey Garrett, I'll see you during the week. I will start by acknowledging the Palawa people of Tasmania, which is where I'm presenting from today. I'd like to acknowledge them as the traditional custodians and of sea and land and holders of a lot of knowledge as in terms of communication that we're talking a lot about, but also multimodal communication as well. It's a lot of knowledge held in our Indigenous communities, and I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And I will say, yeah, those two presentations from Kathy and Kerry have really beautifully flowed into mine, and obviously the books are a really nice flow into our book. So what I'm going to do with you is talk through some of the benefits, but also some of the challenges of applying this stuff. So a lot of the stuff that we've talked about just in these last two presentations, how do you put that into practice? You know, when you're reading a book, how do you add that? Thinking about home and thinking about emphasizing and modifying your signs while you're also trying to engage and connect with kids through play and keyword sign, through books and things like that. I am going to attempt to be a little bit technical. So my apology is different to Kerry's. I am going to use some technology and it may stuff up. Advanced if that happens. I'm going to attempt to share my screen. And you've all disappeared when that happened. That's amazing. Oh, there you are. Cool. You can see my screen.
Yep.
Awesome. I'm not going to go into presenter mode just yet. So you'll see on my slides on the side there. It's a little bit messy, but I've only just realised while Kerry was talking, I can't share links in the chat today, which is what I was hoping to do. So I'm going to do a little bit of talking and background stuff, and then we're going to attempt to use breakout rooms. And I was hoping for you to visit these websites. So I thought I'd show you this first. You can see the long link, which you won't be able to click on, but there's a bit.ly link at the top of the slide there. If you want to grab a pen and paper and just jot that down. So you'll need the bit.ly/3 lowercase a, lowercase o, uppercase y, lowercase p, y. I think that's a Q there. If anyone wants to quickly type that in their browser, let me know if that works or doesn't work, so that you've got that there for when we need it. Oh, Tina's thumbs up. Cool. Excellent. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so even if you just jot that down on a piece of paper so you can type it in later when we're using our breakout rooms, you'll mainly just need one person in your breakout room to be able to access that website. There is a second one, so I'm going to show you that one as well. So you'll see up the top here, there's a different bit.ly link. So if you just want to note down that last part of the link there, 302, lowercase m, uppercase u, little I, big S. Little and big, it's easier to say lowercase than lowercase and uppercase, wasn't it? Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry to start that off with some awesome, thanks, thumbs up, Tina. I'm sorry to start that off with something so technical and menial. I will bring them up again later as well, so don't worry too much if they're not working for you now, but I just thought I'd start off with that. So we can get some of those technicalities. There are some other links in the presentation, but when I'll share these slides through afterwards, and so you'll have those links there to reference some of the information. And I'm not going to go through the things that I'm aiming to do with you today, but there's that one there on the registration information in the program, but mainly just trying to inspire and help people feel confident today to go away and go, do you know what? I can do this stuff in reality, and I don't need to prep too much. Today is thinking about how can you just spontaneously use keyword sign, and feel okay about doing that in your however you like to play and use books with little people, but maybe also older people as well. So these are just some of the things that come to my mind in terms of the benefits of using books and play. And when I'm talking about play, I'm talking about open-ended play, and that's what the activities are going to be a bit about, exploring some of that. But obviously it's really fun, really engaging, and we know that everyone learns better when they're having fun. And learning through play is a really great strategy. So that we're taking advantage of these really naturalistic learning opportunities. There's lots of language learning opportunities in play and in books. We know that the kind of stuff that Kerry was doing just then, modifying our verbs and adding lots of really interesting vocabulary as well as language structures happens really beautifully in play as well as in books as well, when we branch out from just reading the words in the books as well. So thinking about how we're teaching little ones to learn language and acquire vocabulary, and we're adding keyword sign on top of that. So the value of these activities is actually in the rich language opportunities, and we're adding our multimodal, we might be using aided and unaided AAC, thinking about keyword sign as well. I'm thinking about helping kids develop lots of concepts. Keyword sign is really great for concept development. And it gives us an opportunity for a balance of adult-directed play and also child-directed play. So we know when kids can direct the situation, they're going to be more engaged and more involved. But we can also balance that out with a bit of adult direct. So if we're thinking about particular types of vocabulary that we want kids or people to learn, then we can shape these kind of activities as well. You can pick your books. There's some books that have really lovely opportunities to look at a lot of different pronouns or, different types of verbs, those sorts of things. You can pick your vocabulary there. Does anyone else want to mention any of the benefits that you find around using keyword sign with books and play? Is there anything in particular?
I enjoy it just as much as they do.
It's fun for big people and little people. Kerry?
Yes. I think I don't think I'd ever unmuted myself. I think one of the real benefits of books is it allows that repetition. Children love the repetition, they gain from it, they, all of the benefits that we know from what repetition sort of provides, but it's a legitimate, we can read again and again and allow them to gradually become more familiar, start to sort of, be able to anticipate, participate, all of those things. So I think that's one of the real strengths with books. It doesn't matter that you did it before. You can do it again and again and again.
Lovely. Yep. Repeat and recast as well. Use the same vocabulary or in a slightly different way, or modify the vocabulary a little bit, and keep repeating it. Yeah, really lovely. Yeah. So no question, lots of benefits there around this. Some of the challenges though, and this is just from my perspective, you may feel like your own challenges, but I wanted to name these, put them out there. It can be unpredictable, especially if you're letting kids pick their own book. Okay, this could have some vocabulary that I don't know much about in terms of keyword sign, but How do we roll with that? And there could be this pressure to use a large vocabulary. If your play has sort of open-ended kind of vocabulary and those sorts of things, you might feel pressured to, God, I've got to know all these signs before I can read this book or play with this stuff. That can be, a bit of a barrier. I also find there's a tendency to get a bit hung up on fringe vocabulary, and hopefully people know what I mean when I say that. Those fringe vocabularies are those words that we don't use a lot. They don't come up a lot across different situations. So the sign for capsicum and the sign for there's lots of books with animals, emus, and I don't know about anyone else, but I actually don't see many emus. See a few echidnas and paddy melons here in Tassie, but that kind of vocabulary is, it doesn't come up very often, and we're very tempted when we read books and play to use a lot of that vocabulary. We actually need to think about core vocabulary in these scenarios. I'm going to talk a bit more about that. And sometimes, using keyword sign in these scenarios can take a bit of practice to feel comfortable with it. I still don't feel overly comfortable and confident, but I feel, like it's important to have a go at this stuff. And you think about doing this, having a go, and then having another go, doing it a bit better, doing it consistently. You don't have to be perfect. Any other challenges before I move on that anyone else feels like for them? Any sort of barriers that come up around using keyword sign in play and books? Covered?
No, nobody. No.
Cool. I'm sure that might be others, but that's at least there are some challenges. We know this is great, but there's some challenges. Can be tricky. Some of the strategies that I use, I really try and remember, hold in my mind the keyword sign principles. So some of those things that have come up already, but remember gesture. Remember the facial expression. Remember the tone of voice. And Kerry's reading the, going on a bear hunt. Bear hunt has some great vocabulary, but it's also about the tone of voice and using your face and your body language and all those sorts of things. It's part of keyword sign, and that's really important to remember. I try and steer things towards books and toys that I'm really comfortable with, things that I've played with before, things that I've read before. So that helps me feel comfortable and more able to use it. Releases some of that cognitive load so I can keep remembering to use my hands. I do try and focus on core vocabulary that I can use across activities, different toys that I might be playing with, or across different books as well. And I'm going to refresh memory on some of that core vocabulary might be in a minute. I like to think about signs as concepts, not just words. So thinking about, we're not just teaching words here, we're teaching ideas and getting to the core of, what ideas and concepts we want to be using in our language and teaching in keyword sign. Definitely let go of perfection. Yes, we need to be accurate in our signing, and yes, we need to be respectful of Auslan. But it's so important to have a go as well and keep learning and keep getting better at your signing and keep checking our sign production so that we are accurate, but try not to get too hung up on being perfect when you're playing with kids. We don't need to sign constantly, but we need to try and sign consistently. So we don't need to be signing all the signs, obviously. We know keywords are really important, but we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves sometimes to sign a lot. But consistency is more of a key here. And remember to focus on that lovely engagement and lovely language that happens in these play opportunities. That's where initially the real value is, and then we're adding our multimodal communication and our keyword sign. So keeping in mind, that the keyword sign principles are really important. Remembering gesture being really important. These are some of the things that we need to, hang on to and keep reminding ourselves that, yes, there's signs for some of these things, but we can also use our gestures. This is taken with acknowledgement from the keyword sign basic workshop package, just as some of the examples that are in there that we go through, and from the little red book as well. But these sorts of things, in the context of the play and in the context of the book, gesture is sometimes also going to be more meaningful than the sign, depending on what's opening and what you're closing. And how big are we talking? Like Kerry mentioned before, are we talking, a big toddler or a big teenager? The signs there are not, necessarily going to be the most valuable in terms of thinking about that language and those concepts. I'm not sure how we're going for time. 15 minutes in?
Yeah, you've got 25 minutes.
Yeah, we've got. Okay, because I'm keen to get to the doing kind of stuff. So I might let that sit there, and think about your own gestures. But just when we get to our activities, remembering, keeping in mind the very large vocabulary of gesture that we can take advantage of. And later I'll let you explore that link there, which is really gorgeous. Okay, doing lots of gesture while she's pretending to talk on the phone. It's a really lovely reminder of how important our gestures are. So I did want to just refresh or introduce people to core vocabulary. If you live and breathe this stuff, I apologise that it's probably stuff that you already know, but it's always really good to be reminded about the importance of a core vocabulary and thinking about words that we use across activities, across contexts, across environments, across communication partners as a really important vocabulary. It's not the be all and end all, but this is a really evidence-based way of
got a question here
and learning language and keyword sign. Sorry, Bron.
Sorry, we've got a question. I think somebody got their hand up.
I do. My name's Ruth. It's just a really practical question, actually. When I am trying to hold a book and sign and engage a child, how do you do all that together?
It's pretty difficult. I don't know if I've got any easy answers. I'm going to throw it open to the group. Does anyone have any good strategies for? Are you talking about just like kind of one-on-one, Ruth, or are you talking about with a group of kids, or?
It can be one-on-one or it can be a small group. But if you're trying to hold a book and stop them from turning the page before you're ready, and then you're trying to sign, and then you're trying to keep the child engaged, I'm not overly good at getting all of those three to happen at the same time. I can do one or two maybe, but all three together is really tricky.
Yeah, that's really a practicality. A bit of a challenge. Does anyone have any suggestions for Ruth? Debbie? Oh, Debbie, mute.
I use, in small groups in childcare, we use just a book stand. So you've got your hands free of the book, and then sometimes you might have a helper who comes and turns the pages for you while you sign.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. That works for me.
Kerry's got suggestions? I thought you might, Kerry.
Yes, look, whoever sort of finds the answer to that could be a rich person. It's an ongoing difficulty. I'm talking now at the grandmother age. I think that you just go with the flow, a little bit like Harmony is saying. You use that opportunity to say, look, we turned 2 pages. Let's go back. This is all part of the book share activity. It's not about we've got to finish the book. And I think it's just allowing, doing what you can practically I've tried in a family group session recently, trying to balance things and having, you know, different things happening, and then looking to the iPad there where I'm filming on my walker, and, you know, all different things. That's the reality that you sometimes have to sort of just go with. And I think you'll see on some of the examples on the Keywords Australia general membership that kids come in and they do different things, and yeah, just do your best. I mean, that's you know, my advice.
Doesn't have to
There
be
is
perfect.
no, you know, real answer.
Thank you for the suggestions.
Penny, did you have something else you wanted to add?
Well, I work with young children who are deaf, and their mothers come to the sessions as well. It's usually one-on-one, so that makes it a bit easier. But I have their parent, whoever it might be, sit on their best hearing side next to them, and then I have a small table between us. So I often prop the book in front of me open. I've become very good at reading upside down so that I can read the book and sign at the same time, with the book sort of against me at a distance that the child can't turn the pages, but it's not very far. It's sort of, I don't know, 60 centimetres at the most.
Nice. I am going to share a video a little bit later on of me reading a book, but that's just me with a book in front of a camera, pretty impromptu. And even then, I'm a bit rubbish at it. You'll see the book slipping a lot, Ruth, and I don't even have a kid that I'm trying to wrangle in that scenario as well. So yeah, I think that can be really tricky. And I think if you can focus on a very small amount of vocabulary there, even if you're only signing one sign as a book goes along, I think that there's still value in that. Just get that happening a little bit. I think you're winning. Thank you. So I'm hoping while during that discussion, the slide was up, you've had a look through that. I'm not going to go through point by point about core vocabulary, except to say that, it's really valuable for us to think about. Fringe words can be really motivating, but try not to get hung up on them. So if you're balancing book and child and this sort of stuff during book reading, and you're going to just sign one or two key words, core words during that book, think about them as, if they can be words that can be used across environments and across situations as well. And the Practical AAC website has some really lovely resources on core vocabulary and exploring what core vocabulary is. What kind of words are we talking about? So I borrowed some of this information from a resource from the Practical AAC website, which is Carol Fangari's beautiful website with a huge amount of information. These are the kinds of words we're talking about, which look really familiar because they're in the interactive vocabulary, yeah? And there's gesture in there as well. This is what we're talking about, using things in that interactive vocabulary, these words that perform lots of lovely different communicative functions, and we can be using them. We're playing with particular toys. They turn up in a book. When we go for a walk down the street, oh, look, here's this same vocabulary again, same words, different situations, different use, that lovely repetition and recast that Gary was talking before, that's so important in language learning. And I'm sure, lots of people here already know these signs. If you've done a basic workshop, you will have, I'm pretty sure, would have come across all of these signs if they're not taught necessarily explicitly in the interactive vocab. I think they all are. Or maybe not again. Oh, I've got again in there again. Oh, it's twice. I didn't realise that. What a lovely opportunity for me to sign that one again. Oh. Are there any words there? I don't want to go through them all like a basic workshop. Are there any there that anybody isn't familiar with the sign for? Or if this came up in a book that you wouldn't be sure confident about? We're good? All right. So what we're going to attempt do, we have arrived at the moment when hopefully our breakout rooms and those links that I've given you at the beginning of the presentation, hopefully all of these things will come together and the planets will align so that you can be thinking about the gesture that we've refreshed our memories on and that thinking about vocabulary as well, which is obviously a lot bigger than the words I've just shown you. About those kinds of words. We're going to have a go at playing with toys in this virtual space. So if you click on, if you enter this link into your browser, there you should arrive at a page that, can everyone see a new, I can see people are in there already. Can everyone see I'm sharing a slide that says activity using keyword sign in play?
Yep, we can see that.
Beautiful. You.
Yep.
So we're going to go, sorry. Okay. We're going to go into breakout rooms. Chloe, I'm hoping you can help me out with that.
Yeah.
Cool. And in your breakout room as a group, you are going to pick a toy/game from slide number 2. So there's some suggestions there, or as a group, you can come up with your own. But I want you to do this pretty quickly so that you can get into thinking about the vocabulary that you're going to use when you're playing. So you're going to pick a toy or a game. You're going to go to the slide that has your group number on it. There's a bunch of slides. So group 1's going to use group 1 slide, group 2, you're going to put all your names at the top of the slide. Instructions are going to be there for you as well. Yeah. You're going to role play. You're going to work out what kind of things say naturally during this play, and you're going to have a look at what the keywords might be, and then you're going to have another go at playing using those keywords.
Okay, it's 2:05 or 2:06. Harmony, how long have we got for this?
We've got 15 more minutes and we need to finish up.
Okay, we're going to do this for 5 minutes, everyone, because this is probably something you've done in a keyword sign basic workshop, so it should be pretty familiar.
I'm going to put people in 8 breakout rooms. Is that right, Harmony?
Yeah, the numbers work out all right. Yep, so I've got slides for 8.
You've got 8 slides, so I'll put people in 8
8
rooms.
slides, yep, we can do that.
And
So this is an example slide of what your slide might look like. Have a go for 5 minutes.
You're creating your rooms and you'll be sent there.
Great.
Shortly.
Thanks, Chloe.
Okay. All right, you should be asked to go to your rooms now. Sorry, it's just loading.
That's okay. So we're going to do this one really quickly because then we're going to do a similar thing with some books as well. So we want to leave enough time to do the same again with books.
There you go. They're all going into their rooms now. Hello, everyone's in breakout rooms. I will just assign you to one now. They're just looking at toys. Oh, you've just come out of your breakout room, is that right? Claire?
Yeah. It's Ella.
Hey, Allie. Did you lose your room? You're muted.
Sorry, I couldn't access anything at all.
Great.
Just my screen wouldn't let me.
Okay.
So they were talking and all I could see was a blank screen with AB in the middle. That's it.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I didn't actually know we were doing breakout rooms in this session, so I was not prepared for that.
I've never used Teams before, and so I had no idea what a breakout room was. I actually thought it was maybe the link to the
It's the same as Zoom breakout rooms. It's just little tiny groups.
I've never used that either. I've used Zoom, but not breakout groups.
Well, I think I should maybe call everyone back because we've only got 8 minutes, so I'm gonna try and do that and we'll see what happens. Just closed all the rooms and hope it kicks everyone back into this. I'm a professional.
I think you're doing a good job.
Thanks.
Oh,
So we've got Carrie now.
have I changed groups?
Oh,
We're finished.
gone.
Oh, we're back.
Back.
Words.
Hungry. Walk.
Hungry.
All gone.
Hey everyone,
We're all back.
we're
Water.
all back in the big room now.
Okay, we're coming back.
We are.
We're on our way. Some
You're
of us aren't.
No, you're all here. You're all
Well,
here.
we
We're
tried
go-
to do something.
Yep. If you got, what did we get? We got five sentences. So that was pretty good.
We didn't.
Anyone
Well, we
beat us?
took too long to get onto actually creating sentences, but you know.
Yeah. Short on time here, Harriet.
We had the
Yes.
super special Penny in our group with Tracy and Dahlia and Asil and I, and we had the medical kit and we chose Miss Polly had a dolly. So I tell you,
Good
we've
thinking.
got all of the text and we've got all of the keywords. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Ta-da.
very
There was one
I
question
would
about
expect nothing
bed,
less.
whether bed is an Auslan or whether it's natural gesture. So we don't do bed like that, just do bed like this one. We do natural gestures, take us straight to bed, because this looks like a teaching strategy where you've got the b and the d and you're showing the children how to actually form the letters for literacy. So
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
nice,
motorically quite difficult, isn't it, for little kids?
yeah.
to
Whereas this
do
one
the
would be just easy. Yeah.
Yep, this one. And then also pairing that with, you know, time to lie down, close your eyes, time to go to bed. Those sorts of things are really nice, and Kerry's lovely tired. Fantastic. So, I mean, you've all got access now to all of those pages in that presentation that you can have a squiz at what activities other people chose and their sentences and their keywords. We've got 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
Okay, books.
Don't put us back on another clue.
All right, so
Right,
same
more
deal. I will show my screen. So that second link, the bit.ly/302 little m big U little I big S. I'll attempt to bring that up. We're going to jump to that one now. Same deal. We're going to jump back into our breakout rooms, and as a group, when you go to that link, you'll land on a Google Docs page, which will have some instructions up there and a video to the book reading. So in lieu of actually having access to these books, I found some videos, and there are many more books here than we've got groups, just so that you can see some of the other books that I love to, you know, there's so many books that we could do with this sort of stuff. In your group, go to choose the book that the number that matches your group, have a watch of the video, and have a think about what vocabulary you're going to be signing with each of those books. Are we ready to go for breakout rooms again, Chloe?
Yep. I will open up all the breakout rooms, and in about 5 minutes, we'll come back to finish up.
Read, guys. You've got 4
Thank
minutes.
you.
What was
See you all
the
soon.
what was the Bitly again? Sorry.
Go, go, go.
Oh, sorry, I just opened the rooms.
302 little m big U little I big S. Hopefully someone in each room will have access to that.
Hopefully, let's
link.
hope so.
The chats also appear to work in the breakout rooms. Hello, I have some of you who didn't make it into breakout rooms. That's fun.
Oh.
Did you make it into breakout rooms before?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you in room 4? It's still opening. I think you're all going to be sent there now. I don't know.
Okay, what am I doing?
What room were you in?
I don't know. Taryn's room. What was Taryn in? Taryn Bracken?
I can work that out. Give me a second. It's just assigning Claire back to room 4. Or we can just chill here.
I don't know what happened.
I was not expecting to have to run breakout rooms, so this was a fun surprise.
I'm pretty amazed it's happened. And I'm pretty amazed I can actually get that link working. I got the link working, so I was busy doing that. And when I came back, I was in limbo. So,
so you should be in room 3. I'm just going to unassign you and then reassign you.
So do I just click join room?
Oh, yeah, try that. That should work. Perfect.
something.
Hello, Carrie. You're always the first one here.
Oh. Will you bring me back?
I do. Yeah.
That was like too quick.
It was very quick. Hello, everyone.
Sorry, guys.
Always happens. We always run out of time. Should have known. Should have known.
Well,
But,
we are
you know,
time up, so if you can just wind up for us, Harmony.
Yep, for sure, Bronwyn. Thank you for hanging in there, everyone. I wish we had a lot more time on this stuff. But that resource is going to stay there for you as well, to have a look at those books and those videos. It might be worth exploring whether, you can use those videos in terms of, reading books, have somebody else read the book for you so that you don't have to hold that book while you're reading. But I'm going to leave those there. Hopefully you can explore those a little bit more and chat to maybe colleagues and people in the future about feeling more comfortable about using those toys and those books in the future. Thank you, everyone. I wish we had more time together, but thank you for joining us today. It's been lovely to see you all.
Thank you, Harmony. That was lovely.
Enjoy those books.
Okay. Right. Well, I think we're at the end of our day, and we've just got
10 minutes and then the final
So
Have Good Say in Keyword Sign Australia update. So head off, grab a cuppa, and we'll see you soon.